Billykiss. You're gorgeous, by the way.
Ireland, Dublin, she's 28. Is she from Dublin?
Com's cooking.
Yeah, she's a pretty girl as well. Her body's ridiculous.
I am side-eyeing production and whoever's responsible for casting, because if you're going to bring in a baddie like Billykiss, then bring in a guy that's just as good looking. There's no point in bringing a baddie and then for the guys and then bringing an guy for the girls. That's not fair. And it seems Love Island does this a lot, whereby they'll bring stunning girls, but then the boys will be average. And it's like, why are we doing this to the girls? Why don't we bring in just as good looking guys as we do, the girls? And so I am happy that Billykiss is there, because finally Alima has someone she can sort of who will understand where she's coming from. I'm not saying that we're a monolith as Black people or as Africans, but there are certain things that they'll be able to understand each other on, because we see it on Love Island USA, where Olandria has Shirley, and they can confide in one another, and they can, when things are popping off. So I'm happy for her. And Dijon's head is turned. Dijon is now struggling in whether does he want to continue in his gameplay mode or does he want to sort of go for Billykiss. As for Connor seems too excited. It's like Megan who? And I love the little cutesy embrace between Alima and Billykiss when she walked in. I can't wait. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK, Season 12, Episode 23. So obviously the heart rate challenge is finished. You have people just hanging around. Well, they've moved from the fire pit and gone into little groups. Connor was speaking to Shakira, but we didn't get to hear that conversation. Harry goes across to sort of join them, and Connor leaves them alone. And so Harry's having a conversation with Shakira where he's asking Shakira, are you okay? And she says, well, I'm a bit annoyed because I don't think what Helena did was appropriate. At this point, Shakira doesn't know about the comment that I can't wait to F you. So I don't know how she's going to feel when she hears that. Harry really likes Shakira. I think he's trying to pacify her. He's trying to sort of make sure she's okay. But at the same time, it's like he should have not reciprocated whatever energy Helena was giving him, because the moment Shakira finds out, she's going to be upset. You have Ben and Alima. They're having a conversation about the raised heart rate. Ben obviously is excited that Alima raised his heart rate the most. He talks about her face card being unreal, and he asks for a kiss. This is the first time I think I've heard him ask for a kiss. I think if anyone should be with Ben, it should be someone like Alima, but I don't want Alima with Ben. I want someone who will hold his feet to the fire, someone who will hold him accountable. So I don't know whether Alima is just exploring because she's got no other option, or whether she really feels like there is something there. Jojo, Ben, Tommy and Connor were sitting in the den, and so they are sort of having a conversation, and they're questioning, why is Harry sitting where he's sitting? Because he's gone to join Helena, Meg and Dijon, and we all know that's a recipe for disaster, because last week Dijon was advocating for Helena and trying to push, Harry back to Helena, and Harry refused because that's when there was that sleepover, and I think that saved his relationship or his connection with Shakira. The boys, brought up the fact that Shakira is mad. She is justified to be mad. At the moment, she doesn't know about the comment that Helena made, let alone finding out about that comment. She's going to be hitting the roof. The guys then discussed the comments. Apparently, some of them didn't know or hadn't heard that, Helena was the first one to initiate. So she said, do you want to F me? And then when Harry, it was his turn, he asked her, do you still want to F me? And it's like, that's a bit too crass. That's a bit crass. Helena is living up to Harry's perception of her, because he said she's a good time girl, and she's living up to that. I don't know whether there's some level of insecurity, because people have posted pictures of her in her younger years and she didn't look the best, and I don't know now that she's got the body that she's always wanted, whether this is why she's trying to overcompensate, and whether she feels she's in competition with the younger girls, Shakira and Tony. Maybe that's why she keeps going after their guys. I don't know. And the guys are just saying, you can't get away with saying it was just a challenge. It was just a challenge because at some point it has to stop. They then question Connor because Connor apparently shared a very good kiss with Shakira, and they're asking him that, how do you feel about Shakira? Do you see a romantic spark? A lot of guys in the villa see a romantic spark with Shakira. The problem is Shakira is set on Harry at the moment. The moment she says, I'm done with Harry, I can see them falling over themselves to sort of run after her. Connor was saying at the moment, if I try to make any moves, she's obviously going to be upset about Harry and she might not entertain that. And hopefully he hasn't friend zoned himself to the extent that she's sort of gone off him. With Harry, Dijon, and Meg and Helena, well, they were talking about the fact that Shakira's upset about the whole challenge. And then you had Meg and Helena say, oh, she has no reason to be upset because she did the most with Connor. They had a very, very, very deep kiss. And it's like, girls, why are you doing that? And so for Helena to use that as justification to say, oh, in that case, do you want us to go to the hideaway? She is the one who initiates the hideaway with the boys. None of the boys have ever initiated a hideaway conversation with her. And so for Meg to sit there and say, oh, the two of you have something deep, you have something. I love that, Harry called her out and he said, you're an enabler, you encourage nonsense, and this is what she wants. I think on her part, Meg thinks if she can get them to tarnish their own images, then it's easier for her and Dijon to win, because otherwise there's no other justifiable reason as to why she would encourage that. The girls and the boys get ready for the night, and then you have the girls sort of asking Alima, because people were clapping when they saw her kissing Ben. So everyone is asking, what's going on? Do you have a new connection with Ben, or what's going on there? And she says, we're just having flirty banter, and so she's trying to explore that to see if there's anything there. As I said before, Ben needs someone like Alima who's going to hold his feet to the fire. Otherwise, he's going to walk all over you the way he's done all the other girls. But Alima is not his coach. She cannot be there to train him for his next girlfriend. She needs someone who's emotionally intelligent and is actually mature enough to handle a relationship with her. And then you have in the bedroom, you have Harry asking, he asked the wrong person, because he asked Harrison that, do you think I should tell Shakira about what Helena said? And Harrison is saying, no, you don't. It was just a challenge. I think he should have. In bed, when the lights are out, you have Connor busy telling Alima everything that was said, and Alima was so loud. Everyone was wondering what the hell is going on there, because she was saying, did she say that? Did she say that? And it's like, Alima, shush, otherwise everyone is going to find out. So in the morning, the islanders wake up. You have, Helena is very silly. She's very silly. For someone who's her age, she behaves like a 2-year-old, because she's saying, there was a question about who was kissing for 45 minutes. And then eventually you have Helena say, oh, it's Harry. He was trying to get out of the doghouse. And it's like, who put him in the doghouse? Why is he in the doghouse? It's you. You're the one who started the conversation that's ended up with him being in the doghouse with Sierra. Why don't you keep to yourself and wait for someone to come in? This is why I think all the bombshells are not asking to speak to her, because they just realize that it's a waste of time. She is a good time girl. Anyway, you have the guys having a conversation, because the girls are saying Shakira's upset. Shakira is saying, I'm not upset, because he was respectful. The guys are having a conversation in the bedroom, because you have Dijon. I didn't realize that Dijon and Harry have picked up that anything they tell Tommy is going to report to somebody else. So they're asking Tommy, did you tell the girls? And Tommy's saying no. Eventually, it comes up that he told Connor. Connor's asked, did you tell Alima? And he said, yeah, I did. So when he said he told Connor, they were taken aback, because they know Connor and Shakira are very close friends. So the boys were worried that if he's told Shakira, Shakira is the next person to find out. And it's like, well, it's going to be a hot mess. It's sad that Harry didn't speak to the right person. Speaking to Harrison was a waste of space. It was a waste of space, because I think Harrison really likes Shakira, and if he had his way, he would have coupled up with her. Anyway, you have a debriefing, you have the girls having a conversation. So first off, you have Helena in the changing room. She's busy telling the clique, her members of the clique, that she's going to put on Shakira's swimsuit. And it's like, the audacity, that's filthy. Where somebody's vajayjay is sitting, that's where you're putting your vajayjay. Seriously. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And I don't understand why she would do that without, first of all, asking for permission, knowing that they're not in the best of places with Shakira. That didn't sit well with me. Shakira is sitting with Yasmin, Tony, and Alima. And so they're asking, how do you feel? And she says, well, she's happy that Harry wasn't disrespectful, because at the end of the day, if he was disrespectful, then she would have been very upset. But he wasn't disrespectful. The problem lies with Helena. She is the problem. That's when Alima brings out, the information she heard. She said, I'm a girl's girl, and it's important for me to tell you. Helena was saying to, she said to Harry, I can't wait to F you. And then you have the other two girls, Yasmin and Tony, tell her that he said, do you still want to F me? And so Shakira, this sent her blood boiling. Because she now was saying, now everybody's laughing at me because they are looking at me like an idiot because I had no knowledge of what was taking place. So I am happy-go-lucky when this is all that, this has been taking place behind my back. And it's like Harry could have resolved this had he just told her. But then I assume he decided to listen to an idiot just like him. You have, Harry's in the kitchen with the other guys. Obviously, Dijon is there, Meg and Helena are there. And she pulled Harry for a chat. And she said to him, is there anything you need to tell me? And he opens up. He tells her about what Helena said, the fact that she told him that, do you want to F me? And he said, he also repeats that I told her, do you still want to F me? And she was upset because she said, why would you say that? And he said, well, I didn't say I want to F you. I just asked her exactly what she asked me. And so I don't think I was wrong, blah, blah. Shakira is right to stand on her ground. At the end of the day, someone like Harry needs boundaries. If you don't give him boundaries, he's just going to continue to push until you stop him. So for her to tell him this is it, it was good. I loved it because she was able to let him know that she knows her worth. She doesn't need to deal with any nonsense. And if he's not willing or able to sort of get his butt in order, then she's going to sort of keep it stepping. So you had Harry shocked because he couldn't understand why she was saying it's over. He's used to, dealing with Helena. Helena will put up with anything and everything. So the idea that Shakira has boundaries and if you cross them, she's going to roll a line is something else. You had everyone in the villa because Shakira was so aggravated that her voice went up. And everyone is you have the likes of Megan laughing. You have Helena laughing and it's like, you're an adult. You should be able to sort of maintain yourself and regulate yourself. How do you think this comes across? The fact that you are competing with a 22-year-old, someone who is 7 years your junior, it doesn't make sense. The fact that you are competing for a guy with someone like that doesn't make sense to me. So Shakira came into the kitchen and then you have someone sitting in her swimsuit have the audacity to say, do you want to go for a chat? I'm happy that she said no. Because what do you want to tell me that you couldn't tell me in the changing room this morning? Why is it now that I'm aggravated you feel the need to say something? Last time you took him from me, you took him to the hideaway and then came to me and said, oh, I just wanted to let you know that it wasn't planned. It's something that just came up. No, I can't continue to put up with your nonsense. If you had any respect for me, as much as you wanted Jasmine to respect you, you would have had a conversation with me last night. You were sitting there. This morning you were saying he's out of the doghouse. You knew what had been said. Why didn't you tell me? So kudos to Shakira. And for Tony to pull her for a chat and say, let's go. I love that. I really love that. Because Tony was going to look out for a girl. So she told her, let's go. Leave these people alone. So they went to the fire pit. And they were sort of just sitting there and having a conversation. I love that Tony said, they kiss your man while they're wearing your bathing suit. This is why I don't share clothes. Good for her. I am one who doesn't share clothes because I don't know what skin conditions you have. I don't know what illnesses you have. So I am not going to share my clothes with you. While they're sitting there, you have Shakira receive a text message. The message reads, Shakira and Tony, Ryan is waiting to go on a first date. Please get ready to leave the villa. Oh, Harry was in his feelings because prior to the message coming in, Harry had a conversation with Jojo, and Jojo was saying, older guy to older guy, because they're both in their 30s. You need to give it a chance because Harry doesn't know whether to continue to sort of fight for Shakira or move on. I think he wants to fight for Shakira, but he also still wants to explore that thing, whatever that nonsense is with Helena. I think he still wants a good time because Shakira told him, you and Helena need to go to the hideaway and get whatever is in your system out of here. And then see what you want to do next, because at the end of the day that seems like that's all they want. They only want to sleep together, and I think once they've done that they will be the worst of enemies. I don't see that relationship lasting. While the girls are celebrating, Dijon receives a message. Connor and Dijon, Billykiss is waiting for you to go on your first date. Please get ready to leave the villa. Meg was in her feelings, and it's like, why are you in your feelings? Because she was saying everybody wants her man, and it's like, well, you said, we're in the same house, we have to give each other the opportunity to explore. This is the name of the game. So, madam, sit down and take notice, because now it's your turn to sit there and watch somebody else flirt with your guy. Tony, Connor, Shakira, and Dijon get ready. The guys are excited for Connor. Connor's ecstatic because it's been a terrible week for him because Meg was in his couple and she left. So at the moment, he's got friendship couples, but he doesn't have any sort of romantic spark. He wanted Shakira, but Shakira at the moment seems to be stuck on Harry. Shakira is happy that she's going to rub this in Harry's face, and Harry is having cows, eggs, chickens, goats, whatever, because he's now anxious because he knows Shakira has an option, so she has an alternative to him, and he is in trouble. So we get to meet the new two bombshells. Ryan, who's 27, he works for the postal service. He is from Sheffield, and he says he's a confident and cheeky guy. He looks okay. He's not what you'd expect as a bombshell. And then you have Billykiss. She's 28. She's from Dublin. And she's a content creator. And she says, if hearts are broken, so be it. I think she's stunning. Sadly, this always happens on Love Island, whereby the girls are always stunning, but the boys are always questionable. And with this situation, Ryan is questionable. Obviously, the 4 islanders come to meet up for the date. And first to go on the dates are Connor and Shakira. And it's like, well, Connor is excited. I've never seen him this excited. Somebody changed his batteries, because the way he was flirting up a storm, especially when he found out she was Irish. She's from Ireland as well. I'd forgotten about this. So he was excited about that. He said his type is someone with dark features, dark eyes, dark hair, which Billykiss has. And then he was talking up, she was saying she wants a confident guy who goes after what he wants, and this is Connor, because Connor went after Meg even though he knew that she was in a couple. So I think this is something that attracted Billykiss to him. You have in the background Dijon and Tony sitting there, and they are saying if she picks Connor, that's a safe option for her. And it's like, why would you say that? Maybe that's the person that she wants, and and that's why she's choosing him. So I didn't like that. Back at the villa, Harry is, he's pooping bricks, because he's saying, he's worried that Shakira has gone on a date while she's still angry with him. He's also not worried about that the guy will steal him from her, because he is him, and so that guy can never sort of emulate what he brings to the table. But then his biggest worry is the fact that Tony is there, and he's worried that Tony might be in Shakira's ear and telling Shakira, don't go back to him. And it's like, yeah, that's the friend that you need, a friend that will be truthful with you and let you know where things lie, because at the end of the day, you can't continue to be mugged off by someone who's not serious about you. And Harry really likes Shakira, but the problem is Harry also is Harry, and so he's going to flirt with anything with a dress on. You have Shakira on her date. So she is saying, she's not in a good space. She's just broken up with her current partner. So she's open to exploring a connection. This is music to Ryan's ears because he's excited. He was saying, you're my type to Shakira. Shakira is every guy's type. She is stunning. And so it was cute to see her actually be relaxed, because the guy is northern as well. So she said it's nice to have someone northern. In the background, Tony's saying, oh, she's happy because she's really wanted a northern guy. And Dijon is the spy for Harry. Obviously, he's going to go back and tell Harry what happened on this date. And then it will be up to Harry to decide what he wants to do. Back at the villa, Harry has gone back to Helena. He's having a conversation with Helena that, why do we keep going round in circles? Why are you telling me that you want to F me? And she said, well, you repeated the same thing. And it's like, like that he asked that, is there anything substantial between us, or is it just a physical attraction that we have? Because that's what it seems like. It seems like it's more a physical attraction, and once that's out of the way, then that's done. And it seems like Helena is in competition with the younger girls without them knowing, so she's always wanting what the other girls have, and this is why she keeps going after it. Because she was even asked that, so what's going on with Harrison? And she said, well, I like him. And it's like, and Harry said, but he's not me. And that's the truth. Oh, I've never had a strong connection with anyone like I've had with you in a very short space of time. Tony was right to call out, Helena and say, you don't like Harrison. You're just doing it just because you're doing it for the sake of it. And I feel like Helena went after Harrison because she wanted to make Harry jealous. And because everything else was failing, bringing back Jojo didn't work. Flirting with other guys didn't work. This is why she decided, let me pull out the big guns. And she went after Harrison. But Harry himself knows that this is not a good connection for him. He knows that with Helena it's not going to last because of the fact that his impression of her hasn't changed. It doesn't seem to have changed. So the idea that she feels like things have changed, well, she's in for a rude awakening when he goes back to Shakira, because I feel like as long as he stays in the villa, the end goal for him is always going to be Shakira, regardless of who he couples up with. Dijon was ecstatic. Seeing Billykiss is over the moon. He really is. And if anyone is going to turn his head, I think Billykiss could. It's sad that they couldn't bring her in casa because that wouldn't give her enough time to turn his head. But I think if she came in and Meg wasn't there, if she was the one who had come to the sleepover, there was a strong possibility that Dijon's head could be turned. I don't know whether it's because production didn't want Meg sent home. That's why they didn't bring her in. But I love it. They had actually quite a range of topics that they covered. They spoke about their tattoos with Dijon, sort of referencing all his tattoos and what they stand for. They spoke about religion. They spoke about where she's from. She's Nigerian, she's of Nigerian descent, but she is Irish. They spoke about, the fact that this is the first time I've heard Dijon ask someone, would you move to London for me? And so she was saying, if things are going well, then I will consider it. And it was like, oh my God, this is really something else. The qualities Dijon is looking for, he said a beautiful lady, and she said elaborate. And so he said he wanted someone who's caring, who's understanding. Meg has the understanding, the caring not so much, and he wants someone who's family orientated because he is best friends with his brother, and she says she's best friends with her sister, so that was really cutesy. They also spoke about the fact that she's a content creator, and she was commenting on his dress, the way he was dressed. And Connor, it was boiling his blood because he's saying, what's she discussing his clothing? And it's like, Connor is really interested in Billykiss, it seems. That's the impression that I got from the way he was listening, the way he was watching. It seemed like even his reaction when they came back to the villa, it showed that he was really interested. She said, she's looking for a confident and assertive man. That's her type. It's like, oh God, okay. This could be something else. And so they did their little cutesy toast, which was to good trouble, new beginnings, and a good day. And it's like, Dijon is gone. If Meg watches this, if she panicked over the malicious situation, this is really going to drive her up the bend because it's going to be something else. In the villa, you have, on her part, Helena is complaining that, if Harrison wants me, then he needs to be making the efforts to pull me for chats. It doesn't seem he's doing anything. At that point, he came and pulled her for a chat. And you have Megan busy downloading all this, her concerns about Dijon and his date to Yasmin. And it's like, well, I love it because Yasmin is going to download it to the rest of the team. That way they have info on the opposition team. So I love it. I really do. And I'm happy that at least now we have, even if the clique decide to alienate everybody else, we now have the girls and they are now in the majority. Tony, Shakira, Yasmin, Alima, and Billykiss. I have a feeling she's going to be part of that group. And then you have Helena go on her date with Harrison. They went to the terrace. I think Helena has been starved for attention by guys. And I think any attention she gets, she will sort of grab at it. Because it didn't make sense why she went to the terrace with Harrison. She was sort of disinterested in Harrison. Not because I think she wants him to pay her more attention. But I think it's because she feels like she's won Harry over and Harry's coming back home. But personally, I don't think Harry's coming back home. They did share a kiss. Harry wanted to know who was on the terrace, but still didn't seem that fazed when he found out it was Helena and Harrison. And it's like there's nothing really special about that connection anyway. And you have Helena being asked, what is it that's going on between you and Harry? And she said, well, I think it's more physical connection. And it's like, so have you told Harry that it's a physical connection? Because you can't be sort of exploring something with someone and not being honest with them. I didn't like that. She could have easily told him and not sort of broken up his couple just because she is bored. And so I can't wait to see what happens. You have Tony's date. Tony, well, she taught Ryan how to pour champagne because that's what she does for a living. He told her he feels like she's been mugged off with the way she's being treated by Harrison. He doesn't feel it's fair. He hasn't been to America though, so she was sort of asking him, where would you go if you were to come to America? They spoke about Vegas. I think he's okay, but he's going to be boring. Tony telling him that you look like a golfer was just enough to sort of signal that you look boring. There's nothing standoutish about you, really. He said he plays cricket and he also plays football. Tony said she played soccer as a kid. And so, I don't know. Shakira was saying they seem to have a lot in common. I don't think so. I really don't. I think they're just two people who are going to end up coupling up if they have no other choice. But I feel like this guy is going to be boring. He's just going to be like Cher, whereby everyone is going to be bored by him and they won't want to couple up with him unless it's a safe option, and then they'll couple up. You have them all come back to the villa. Meg is quaking because as soon as she sets eyes on Billykiss, she knows that the girl is stunning and she doesn't know what to do. Alima was ecstatic. I think she was ecstatic just to see someone who looked like her outside of Dijon. This was one of the reasons why she was that giddy. And also she'll have someone she can confide in without sort of worrying that, oh, are they going to betray me or are they going to do this? Immediately they sort of clicked and it was like, oh my God, I wish it was a guy. That way they could couple up until the very end. But I can't wait to see their sort of bond grow. You have the guys go to the fire pit, the girls go to the mini fire pit, and Meg is shook at her face. She's trying to assess how she can go about it because she tried to intimidate, Militia, and I think that didn't work out very well. She must have been told that people are making complaints to Ofcom. So now she's trying to assess how to go about the Billykiss situation. I love that Billykiss said to her, yes, my date with Dijon was good. He said he's open to getting to know me, but also he was very respectful. So she had nothing to sort of hook her hat on to say, oh, he did this or she did this. And so it's now a matter of time because whatever she says or whatever she does, Megan, everyone will be watching her. Dijon on his part is smitten. Ryan said, he likes both girls. He doesn't know who he's going to pick, but he really likes both. Dijon was asked about Billykiss. He said she is stunning. Connor is excited. The fact that Harrison was excited that she's Irish, he said, it's like, Harrison, take several seats. She doesn't have time for you. She's not running a preschool. Go back to your teacher, Helena, and do whatever nonsense you want to get up to. So I can't wait to see what happens because it looks like she's about to shake. Billykiss is about to shake the villa. The guys are about to follow all over themselves, and I don't know who she's going to win over. My money's on Connor. I think Connor is going to try and put his best foot forward to win her, and they will make a cutesy couple. I can see them making a cutesy couple, but I don't know what will happen with Dijon because Dijon seems like he's interested as well, but he's afraid of what will happen, the backlash that he might end up getting, the Ramel situation. But I don't think viewers will think that. I think viewers are fed up of Megan, so even if she's dumped, no one will be worried, or even if he uncouples with her, no one will be upset with him. I can't wait to see what happens. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 22. Bye guys.